Hey guys, Glenn here from GC Jet Ski Fishing. Today I'm going to show you how to install these front footwell rod holders on your Seadoo Fish Pro. Any Seadoo with the ST3 hull. So these footwell rod holders are designed to work with the speakers installed, and they are forwards of where your knee would be, and as you can see they bolt onto the fiberglass part of the hull where there is a ridge there for added strength. Here is a better look at the part. It is a solid aluminium CNC cut base, which is conformed to the contours of the ski. You can see there's quite a few different angles in that base, and that is machined perfectly. As you can see, there's absolutely no gap under this piece. It's almost self-locating on this ridge, and with about a finger gap through this part you can see here, which once this is bolted on, that is about the strongest rod holder you're going to be able to get for one of these skis. And the rod holder goes right through it and is welded through from the back. You've got a couple of lugs there for tying your rod leashes onto. And this is another example of what the part starts off as. You can see a nice deep hole for the rod holder to go through. Recessed parts for the bolts. And there's a better look to see, showing you the backside where it contours to the shape of the ski. So yeah, once this part then has a rod holder tube spigoted in there, welded through from the backside, creates a really strong connection between these two parts, so you'll never have to worry about breaking that rod holder off. The kit will come with all the necessary stainless steel hardware that you need. The two shorter bolts go in the front end of the rod holder. The one longer bolt will go top center. Two medium bolts go in the two back holes. Then you've got 5 washers and 5 nylock nuts to go on the other side of the bolts. So first thing we want to do is grab your rod holder, and the narrower end of the rod holder is the front. So this is a right hand side rod holder. Basically you want to find this contoured part of the panel here, and you'll notice there is a ridge in the fiberglass, and that is where the rod holder wants to sit. So there should be about a finger gap, about a 15mm gap around the top side of it, which should look pretty even. And you'll notice that once you've got it sitting in the right position, there will be essentially no gaps at all under the, no gaps at all. It'll be sitting flush, both the front, back, top and bottom of the rod holder, and that is where you want to mark your holes to drill. And then we have to remove the storage bucket to gain access to the inside and to install our bolts. So we'll go ahead and mark this now and then carry on with the installation. I've shown this tip before. Something that's handy when marking down deep holes is just to get your side cutters and pull the tip out of your marker pen, and you should get something that's nice and long like that, and that will make it a lot easier to reach down through the holes to mark your drilling points. Once again, we want to put it in position. We just want to get a nice even gap around the plastic fairing there, so it should look nice and even. And it should be sitting in position nicely. Once we have done that, go ahead, mark the holes. Remove the part. There we have it, our 5 holes. And we want to drill these out with about a 7mm drill bit, but because we don't know what's on the other side, first of all we want to remove the storage bucket so that we can make sure that we're not drilling into anything important. So we'll remove the storage bucket, and then that will also give us access to tighten up the nuts on the inside. So I'll go ahead and do that now. For those who haven't seen it before, to remove the storage bucket on the inside, you need to take this front panel off. Just open our storage compartment. There'll be one bolt there, one bolt there. Take that off and the nose cone will remove. We also need to undo the shock. So we just release the boot and then unscrew the body of the shock like that, and that will release it from the grey clip, and then you can remove the shock. And then from there we want to take these side panels off. So it will remove both of the seats, and there will be a plastic clip here, a bolt there, and then that panel will come off. And then to remove this panel here, if you've got the speakers, you need to remove the speakers by putting a screwdriver in from the bottom and then giving it a half turn twist, and that will release the clip on the bottom down here, and then your speakers will slide back once you've also removed a bolt from up the top here. And so once you've removed the speaker, which is the clip on the bottom and a bolt at the top, then also come in here and remove this bolt here for this plastic panel. And then I'll just take this plastic panel off here and I'll show you how to remove this one. So as you can see here, I've removed that first panel, and you come back to this one, undo the bolt up here, and then there is a little tab in here. You reach up and pull, and it allows the whole panel to slide back. There's another look at that tab there. Pull that down, slide that panel back. Then the next step is to come in here, release the gas strut. So just undo the boot and start twisting the body of the strut. And then just be aware that this does have quite a bit of weight on it. So another thing I like to do is just tie it up with some sort of rope. Usually you can go with our bell tether ropes up onto the handlebars, and that normally does the trick. So as you can see here, I've released the shock from this side. This plastic part, just put that aside, you don't want to lose it because it has to go back in there to reattach the shock. And then once you've undone the shock, just hold this, pull the whole assembly up, and as you can see I've just tied it down with our bell tether rope, and that will stop it falling on your head, because you will need to lift this up a little bit more to get the storage bucket out. So once you've undone the shock, put it to the side, you can come in here and there will be one bolt down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bolts around the storage bucket, and then there will be 4 more up here in your fuel filler. I've got a auxiliary fuel tank in this, but you'll still have the 4 bolts around the fuel filler to undo. So undo all of those, and then the storage bucket will come out. So as you can see, I've gone around, undone all of these bolts, all around here, don't forget that one down there, all around the top here, and then these latches will actually come off as well. They need to go back on when it's reinstalled, and just make sure you don't push any of those back into the hull. So we'll go ahead and lift the storage bucket out now. So once you've removed the storage bin, you can then come in here and check that you've got nothing in the area behind, which is this ridge that runs along the bottom here. which we are fine. There's nothing in the way, so we can proceed to drilling our holes. We want to go with about a 7mm drill bit for them. I just like to also use a vacuum cleaner at the same time right beside the hole, just to suck up any dust and reduce the amount of dust as we're going. And one more tip, you just want to make sure that you're directly 90 degrees to the angle. As you see, these are on two different planes after that kink of the fiberglass. If you say we're doing 90 degrees, which is through at an angle like that, if you just come straight in like that, then you'll find you'll struggle to get the bolt all the way through the hole when you go to install it. So just make sure you're at a 90-degree angle, and you shouldn't have any issues when installing the bolts. One thing I also forgot to mention was that before you go and bolt this down, just sit your speaker back in position on the sliders at the bottom, just loose for now, so that you can still slide it back and forward, and then that'll enable you to still reach the bolts up here when you are putting all your plastic panels back together. But since we've got the rod holder in position, we want to go ahead and install all the nuts on the insides with the supplied washers and tighten them up. I've got all the bolts reinstalled, the nuts and washers. I might go to a slightly bigger washer on the back there, but that is strong as anything, and still needs to move forward back up into position, but that will wait until we need to reinstall this nut for the plastic panel, so we can go ahead and reinstall our storage bucket back into there and reinstall everything, and then we're good to go. Bolted the storage bucket back in, the gas strut is connected and working, and then next up we want to reinstall these two front side panels. Once you've got the side panel on there, you want to come here through the side bit and put the bolt in there. Put that bolt in there that holds that panel in position, then slide the speaker up, put the screw in that holds the speaker in, and then reinstall your final panel. Slide it in position, put your bolt in, put your clip in, and then reinstall your nose cone. That's it guys, everything is back together, your rod holders are installed. Clearance for the speaker, trolling rod holder and a travelling rod holder, and that is angled out a bit as well so it's not in the way of your handlebars. These things, you can literally shake the whole ski with them. They are not going to break off, so if you break that off, I'll be seriously impressed.